Hello, my name is Olivia, and I'm one of your librarians here at Jefferson College. In this video, I'm going to walk you through searching for scholarly sociological research articles using one of the library's online databases, Discovery. If you need a reminder of what scholarly sources are, check out the video in the description. Discovery, or the discovery layer, is something I like to call a mega database because it allows you to search through multiple databases at once. So, if you want to cast the widest possible net to find sources for research, Discovery is an ideal option. And you can get there a number of different ways, but I'm going to demonstrate going through the library's homepage because it is right here, this red search box that says Discovery at Jefferson College Library. So let's say that I did my field observation at my younger brother's soccer game. With Discovery, I'm going to want to keep my search term pretty broad to start out, so I'm just going to use the keyword sports. So we can see immediately that Discovery pulls a lot of results, which makes sense since it's looking through so many databases. But that's why it's important to know how to narrow down your results to what you really need. So the first thing I'm going to do is come up here, click All Filters, and that's going to pull up all of our different filtering options over here on the right. If I scroll down here to this second filter, we have what's called the content provider. If I click on that, that's going to show us a list of all the different databases that our results are currently coming from. But with this particular assignment, we recommend that you use a few. So I'm going to click this plus 109 more so we have our full list. And then I'm also going to make sure that it's sorting instead from hit count to name A to Z so we have our list alphabetically. I'm going to start by clicking Academic Search Complete, which is a general scholarly research database that's focused on academic research. And then I'm going to scroll down a little more to APA Psych articles because, of psychology's close ties with sociology. And finally, Soc Index with full text because this is a database that is specifically full of research pertaining to sociology and related disciplines. So now that we've got our selections chosen, we'll go ahead and click Apply. And the next thing we're going to want to do is click where it says Scholarly Peer-Reviewed Journals, since we know that these are the exact type of source that we need. All right, so now we're down below 1 million, so that's pretty good, but we can still definitely do way better. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do, click that all filters again, and I'm going to go to this first filter that says published date. If you know that you need articles just from the last 7 years, you'll probably have to forego this one that's the past year, past 5 years, past 10 years, and choose a custom range. So when you do that, it will allow you to choose from a calendar or you can just type right in. So now I've got my full 7-year date range and I'm going to come down here and click apply. Now we're going to want to dig even deeper into the kinds of things that we are looking for our research purposes, right? So I'm going to click all filters again. I'm going to scroll down to where it says subject. Now, remember, when we started, we did a keyword search, which basically meant that we told the database to look for any source with the word sports in it. So when it pulled our results, the sources didn't have to be specifically about sports. They just had to mention it somewhere. So using this subject filter will allow us to actually pick and choose the main topics that are currently being discussed in our results. So we can use this to narrow down our results just to make sure that we're finding articles that are primarily and specifically about sports. So if I click this here, we're going to see our full list. And again, there's a lot in here. So I know it might be easiest to sort by name in kind of reverse alphabetical order because I know that I'm going to be looking specifically for sports. And now we're down to 2,887 articles that are primarily about sports. But you can also use this filter to see what other main subjects are being discussed in these articles. And that's going to give us a better idea of the words or terms used by scholars to describe different concepts within the field of sociology. So it might be helpful to browse through this particular list just to see what kinds of things are being researched and discussed in relation to our topic. Also, we can use this to keep focusing in on what kinds of articles we actually are looking for. So I'm going to see if I can find any subjects that pertain to my population. So if I scroll here, I found children, adolescents, and adolescents, and adolescents. So again, we can use all of these in combination to find articles that are looking at sports in reference to my population of children and teenagers. And now we have a really reasonable list of results at just 207. So if we're looking through our results and we find one that seems particularly relevant, you can click on the title and we're going to get into what's called the detailed article record. So that's going to give us a lot of really good information about the article itself that we'll need. So right up here, we have our title, of course, which we also have down here. We can see our authors as well as the source where this article was published, which in this case happens to be the Canadian Journal of Behavioral Science. If we scroll down a little bit further, we're going to see the abstract for the article. And the abstracts are basically summaries of this particular article. So that's going to give you an overview of the study and its purpose so that you can tell if it's going to be worth reading or if it's not quite relevant to what you're looking for. We can also scroll down a little bit further and look at all of our different subjects. Again, those main themes that are in the article. We have sports, adolescent development. So it's looking like it might be a good fit for us. In that case, we can come right back up to the top here and click on our drop down that will give us different access options for being able to read the full text. Whenever you have the option, I recommend going with the PDF just because that's going to show you exactly how the article looked when it was published initially. So that means that, you'll get things like the correct page numbers, which you'll need for in-text citations, as well as any charts or graphs that might helpfully illustrate the data or the content of the article. If you decide that this is an article that you definitely want to use and you want to make sure that you can get back to it again later, you can certainly print it out or download it. You can also click this little arrow that says share, and that will give you the option to either email it to yourself or create a permalink. I do also want to point out right up here with the other tools, there is this quotation mark here, and that is the database citation generator. As with all in-database citation generators, be wary when you're using them. They just don't always get things right. Usually there are formatting errors. And that'll do it for us today. If you have any questions or need any assistance, come visit us at the library or contact us through one of these methods.